I'm Simon McNeil-Ritchie. I'm the founder and managing director of Franchising Works. Franchising Works is a social enterprise that's been set up to help tackle unemployment by helping people set up businesses and create new jobs through franchising. The first thing we do is publicise franchising on the ground anyway, because those people who know about it can easily find out from magazines or these shows, but we feel that there's a large number of the people we're trying to reach, particularly unemployed people, who wouldn't know about franchising beforehand anyway. So we work with Job Centre Plus and the self-employment agencies on the ground to promote franchising. We encourage people to come into workshops where they can find out about franchising, and then for those of them who think that franchising might be at least an option for them to go into business as opposed to an independent startup, we then encourage them to come along to a one-to-one with our colleagues, all of whom have come from the franchise industry, and we then explore with them whether they're suitable for franchising, whether franchising would be suitable for them. First thing about with people coming to find out about franchising is everything you'd imagine, because a lot of people don't even know what franchising is, so we have to explain that, which is a good starting point. We have to give them an idea of what it's like to be a franchisee. Some people obviously want to do things themselves, and that may not be the most suitable people for franchising. A lot of people have a very limited idea of what franchising is about. Some of the brands, particularly in the fast food, are very well known, but there's a lot more to franchising than. We have to explain that there's a franchise for pretty much every service type of job going. And people, I think, are genuinely amazed when they find that they can get involved in anything from domestic cleaning to car maintenance to IT services, childcare and sports and fitness. And for the people that we're working with, those sorts of relatively low cost, relatively easy to access in terms of skills and experience is particularly helpful. Our principal target group, because we are a social enterprise, is to work with the unemployed people, particularly the long-term unemployed. That's really the sort of the centre point of our efforts. But we'll work with anybody who's unemployed, people who are facing redundancy, people who are really just looking to change job, particularly if they're going to set up businesses, because the great thing about franchising is that it's not just a job for the person who sets it up. With the drivers that are built into franchising, it's quite possible they'll go and create jobs for other people. So even if the person we're helping get into a big franchise isn't unemployed, they may well create opportunities for unemployed down the road. We're members of the Encouraging Women into Franchising organisation because we felt it was going to be important to make sure that whatever we did was tailored for whatever audiences we were trying to reach, and women were a big part of that, obviously, there. Women have been participating in the programme at about 50-50, so that we've had quite a high take-up and interest by women in that. We've helped some women actually into business already, which has been good to see. What is interesting with the women who come aboard there is quite different from the men. The men are usually very confident that they know what they're going to do, and they'll set out on that course. Women are actually usually understate their skills and experience, and the fact that they go into business therefore in what we call a supported form of self-employment, which is what franchising is, like other groups that are a little bit risk averse, like public sector employees, for instance, it's the additional support and the comfort of being part of a network and an established business that makes the difference between whether or not they go into business or not. We've only been operating on the ground in Greater Manchester for about a year. We started our first person into franchising in May last year, and since then we've got 24 people into business. Most of those are unemployed people, all of whom are, interestingly enough, outperforming their franchise networks. It was always a bit of an uncertainty whether we should expect them to find it harder to start up a franchise or whether they would seize the opportunity. And what's been really gratifying is that these people are really seizing the opportunity once they're given it. Going into business is a big step, but increasingly we work in a world where taking control of your own future is actually a safer option than leaving it in the hands of others there. And I've started up several businesses there, and I know it can be very complicated. The extra support, training and everything else that goes with a franchise can make all the difference between whether it's a good experience for you or not.